Welcome to You Know Me, a podcast for Brunswick and the Golden Isles. I'm Buda,
I'm the beard.
and here today, actually, we're here just us.
That's it. Just us. Yeah.
We are guestless, and we're actually in our, was this the patio?
Yeah. Patio. You can see, I can hear the birds in the background.
Yes, so the backyard patio of my house with a nice view of the pool and birds in the background, and yeah, I can hear them.
You can hear the birds. Yeah. Nature.
Birds in the background, new fence. Hopefully, we won't hear too much traffic.
Yep. And it stopped raining. So that's good.
That's always nice.
Yeah.
I missed that. I missed the rain today, so I'm
It was
lucky.
It was crazy weather last couple of days. So hopefully clear up for the weekend when this podcast comes out.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a great weekend. So what I've been looking at, sunny and in the 70s. So.
Yeah. Great weekend to get out there, enjoy what the Golden Isles has to provide.
It's an Easter weekend, so I'm sure there's going to be Easter egg hunts and brunches and all kinds of stuff for everyone to enjoy. So it's going to be a good weekend for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And as Buddha mentioned, we are guestless this week. Figured it's a busy week for everybody with the holiday coming up on the weekend, and decided just to talk to ourselves. I guess that sounds weird, but and recap our last couple of episodes, which were amazing. And I would like to thank everyone that's listening for all your support. The feedback, the views, the plays have been incredible, and we have you to thank for that.
I'm speechless. Honestly, I didn't know what we were getting into, and it's been wonderful, and it's been well received. It's been great. It's a great surprise, and it's been a lot of fun. And you know, we certainly don't know really what we're doing still.
Yeah.
But it's been fun, and we've met some interesting people, and we've got some more interesting people lined up, and it's been really starting to gain some momentum. So, keep listening. We'd love to have some comments.
Yes.
If you have suggestions, if you have someone that might be interesting, or if you're interesting yourself, let us know, and we will call you and get together and do this with you, because it's been a blast.
Yep, it has. Thank you to Vinay. Thank you to Hannah from March 22. Thank you to Jason from Matted Ox Axe Throwing. And definitely thank you to Roland for being on the show. And just like Buddha mentioned, we have a couple more guests lined up coming up, so we're excited about that. You could hear the airplane overhead. But yeah, like the Buddha mentioned, we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into doing this. I mean, we bought the equipment, right, and we've been fortunate enough to do the podcasts at each individual's business, and we're hoping to hopefully eventually get someplace where we can do have people come in and do podcasts, but that's in the future.
Someplace nice and quiet without birds and airplanes flying overhead.
Yeah, it's our nature background soundtrack that we got going on.
Hopefully the random cat that lives in the backyard won't show up either.
Nothing like a random cat that just shows up.
Her name is Chin Chin, by the way.
Chin Chin.
Yeah, Chin Chin. We'll come up to Shannon, but we'll run away when it sees me, so we're safe.
Okay. We're safe in the patio.
So, well, I think we should start off with a little teaser on the next episode.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this one because this is right in my wheelhouse. We're going to speak with Brandon from Newcastle Wines.
I'm excited about this.
I am a wine geek. I've graduated from being a wine snob to being a wine geek. I lived out in Sonoma County for 6 years, out in California, right in the middle of wine country. I went from college to wine country, so it was basically keg beer to nice wines, and I just got hooked.
Wow!
Because at the time, especially in Sonoma, you could just roll into all these wineries and they don't charge you. You can taste 4 or 5 wines in a list. but usually you're like the only people in there, so they'll like give you more, and you have like a mini wine tasting class at every single place you go to. So I got to learn a lot. I got to meet some of the winemakers, and I really got into the whole wine process, and I got really into drinking wine.
Yeah, and I'm excited about this because I'm hoping that I will learn a few things about wine because I'm like the complete opposite. I'm not a wine drinker, and I mentioned that on when we interviewed Roland. I was joking around about like Giuseppe's wine in the basement and stuff. So I'm excited because I honestly don't know anything about wine. I mean, I know that there's red wine, white wine, Pinot Grigio, stuff like that, but like I don't know flavor balances and any of that stuff. So I'm excited to actually sit down and talk with Brandon about wine.
Yes, and he knows a lot.
Yeah.
I believe he's a sommelier,
Mm-hmm.
which is only a few people in the world are
Wow.
sommeliers, and it takes a lot and to do that, and it's an impressive thing to have, and it's just great because one thing about wines is you're always learning new things,
Mm-hmm.
which is probably one of the reasons I'm so attracted to wine tastings or going, because you always find something new. The wine grape is one of the only fruit that can simulate the flavors of other fruit or flavors.
Interesting.
And so depending on the acidity in the oil and how in the soil and other factors and how and where they're grown, you're getting flavors and textures in the wine that are unique to that grove or that vineyard, and it's just a really cool process, because there's just in California there's Sonoma County,
Mm-hmm.
Napa. Everyone knows about Napa, but there's the Central Coast, and that's a really interesting place because it's more arid, so it stresses the vine
Okay.
more, which produces a smaller grape, but it's more flavor.
Mm.
And these are things that we're going to get into, hopefully,
Yeah.
with Brandon.
I definitely hope so too, because like I mentioned, like I don't know much about wine. Like when I go to Reed's for date night, which highly suggest if you guys haven't done that, excellent deal, $60. But you get to choose a wine, and I'm just like the Pinot Grigio, and that's all I stick with because I'm like I like it. I don't. So I'm hoping that with speaking with Brandon to come away with more appreciation for wine. And if you guys have not been inside the shop, I mean I've been in there, even though I don't know what I'm looking at. It's a beautiful spot in downtown.
It is great, and he can now sell by the glass,
Yeah.
and he's got a courtyard in the back, which is just a wonderful place. You can grab a glass and go out to the back and sit down at the table. They have a couple of little bistro tables. You can sit out there outside and al fresco and enjoy the glass you got and talk with whoever you're with. And, it's a pleasant time. Shannon and I did it the other day, and I think he had a white wine that we wanted to try. It was great, and it was nice to sit back there and you feel kind of closed in, isolated still. And
Right.
but it was nice. It's going to be great. I'm very excited about this. Hopefully I won't talk too much.
Yeah. But I mean, we could break it up in part ones and part twos if we have to, right? It'll be episode 7, right? Yeah, 7. Episode 7, part 1, episode 7, part 2, if we had to. But yeah, because I am generally excited about it, like because I probably will have like 1,000 questions.
Oh yeah, and it's great. And looking back, we got such a great diversity of guests so far.
Yeah.
We kickboxing, we had axe throwing, we had a clothing like a what is it? It's recyclable and sustainable.
Sustainable. There's the word. Yep.
Clothing store. And we had food. We had Roland, Chef Roland, for representing Schroeder's. So now we've got wine, and so
Yeah, and we might have another food. I think we might have some other food places lined up. So yeah, this is exciting. Like
yeah.
I am so excited for where this is heading. And like I mentioned in the beginning, like we couldn't do without everybody listening and supporting.
And it's been wonderful. It's been such a great surprise. I didn't know what to expect when we started doing this, and we're still in the very early stages. So we're still learning things and
Oh
trying
yeah.
to figure things out. And
Yeah, like I'm still trying to figure out editing and taking background. Like I'm still trying to figure all that stuff out. But like, I'm genuinely so happy for like everyone's support and listening.
so, speaking of listening, roughly how many listens do we have already?
So before I came over, actually before I went to Tipsy's, excellent dinner by the way. We were up to 182 plays. So, and then we're very close to unlocking something on there.
So four episodes.
5 episodes.
Four.
Four.
Is it?
Yeah, is it 4? It is 4. I'm losing track. We're on episode 5. Yeah.
Four. Yeah, this is episode number 5. So this was a good time to do a kind of a little look back at what we've done so far and assess. But yeah, we got 4 episodes down with
2 plays.
82 plays.
Yeah. And
that's good, I believe.
I'm happy. Like yeah, and this is such a great community. The Golden Isles is such a wonderful place. And and our main focus is the Golden Isles. So I'm not looking for this to, I'm hoping it goes more national because I want people to come visit the Golden Isles and see how beautiful it is. But I'm very happy for the support that we have from the community so far.
It's wonderful because this place has really grown on me. When I've been here for 9 years now. Sorry, folks, I'm not a native. But I've been here for 9 years. When we first got here, it was very sparsely. There wasn't a whole lot to do.
Mm-hmm.
And Newcastle was not Newcastle it is right now. And it has grown. And to go out there on a First Friday and just see how much it's grown with the live bands and how big it is and all these people, it's great. It puts a big smile on my face because this is such a wonderful place. And and we're both active in the acting scene.
Correct. Yeah.
And so we've got to meet a lot of people that way and to be out there on stage, which is always fun.
Yes.
It takes a lot of work, folks.
A lot, yes.
But it's a lot of fun. But it's just a wonderful thing. And yeah, I think we can, other people need to come check this out. Yeah. There's a lot of things here, and we've only scratched the surface.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's so much more to explore out there.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's just not. We've talked about how great the restaurants are, and the social scenes and the bars and things like that. But like the fishing here, is incredible. And I learned a while back that Jekyll Island is the second largest breeding ground for sharks in the world.
Wow.
And we've gone out there. I've gone out there with my son when he was younger, and hopefully I can get Captain Josh, who's the guy who took us out a couple times. I'd like to get him on here and talk about, the fishing stuff because it's wild. We caught all kinds of species of shark. And we were only in like 10 feet of water.
Wow.
And it's low tide. For every shark you catch, though, you catch a stingray. And those things are like trying to pull up a dead body. They just kind of playing out, and they're really hard. But we caught some of the species were like basket head, black tips, lemon shark. There's a needle tooth.
Wow.
I'll show you a picture of that one.
Yeah,
that one's like out of a horror movie. But we were in just an area where we were just getting like the 3-footers because Daniel was still kind of young. And so he could easily reel them in. But that's the other thing is like there's some great fishing out here, not just out in the ocean, but in these estuaries and in the fresh water. So, and I know some people who are duck hunters here. They have a good duck hunting season. And so for guest wise, we've really just kind of scratched what surface of where we want to go and what we want to do. This isn't just about, all the great restaurants in the area. This is about all the interesting people.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And what makes this place desirable to come to, and bring people from Atlanta, bring people from Tennessee, bring people from Massachusetts, New York, and Pennsylvania.
Yep. To come visit, see how wonderful everybody is in this community.
Yeah,
Yeah. Talk to, it's all about talking about to legends and folks and businesses and everybody in the community. Yeah. And you're right. I mean, there's golf. Golf is huge. I mean, there's some professional golf players that live on like Sea Island.
yeah. Davis Love the third. He's
Yeah.
he lives in St. Simons. Oh man, if we could that's a big fish.
Yeah. Talk about fishing. No pun intended, right? Talk about fishing.
Landed that guy, that'd be great.
Yeah. I mean,
it'd be a
there's
lot of fun. Yeah, so there's a lot of things we want to do that, to kind of show off and showcase this area, and it's just great.
Yeah. Because I mean, you got Jekyll Island,
The Sea Turtle
the
Center.
Sea Turtle Center. Yeah.
If you haven't been to the Sea Turtle Center, go out there, support them, because there's a admission fee to kind of get in, but it's all about the conservation and saving turtles, sea turtles, and the money that you spend to get in helps to save those sea turtles. And then there's a little back area where you can go and see the turtles that they are rescued, that they're rehabbing. They'll feed them and talk about these sea turtles and their different species.
Yeah. Fun fact, I volunteered at the Sea Turtle Center for a little bit.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, before COVID. I did for a
wow.
little bit. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So yeah, if you guys have some free time and you want to do some volunteer work, look into volunteering at the Sea Turtle Center.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's really a rewarding thing too, because these species of sea turtles are, I think there's some of them are endangered
Yeah,
or close to being endangered.
yeah. I mean, my regular job, we talk about endangered species and stuff like that, and it's sad what people do with these animals and endanger these animals. They make purses, they eat them. It's just they make jewelry out of the shells. It's just amazing how sad it is that what people do and it causes the endangerment of these species.
Yeah, and as a society, I think we can get past the fact that we need to use the skin of the animal or the ivory, or we can simulate these things now. We have the technology to make these things, and I think at one time back in the day, it was somewhat of a status symbol, but it's really not that much of a status symbol anymore, in my opinion, and maybe I'm wrong, but let's let these animals be, and enjoy them for what they are, because going out fishing, we got to see some sea turtles swimming around, and it's really cool. And growing up in Massachusetts, and we used to go out cod fishing in August, and we'd always see whales.
Yeah, wow.
And that was just amazing. And they know you're there, and they put a show on for you. And it's just an amazing thing to watch, and you can see these big, huge creatures. It's just awesome.
Yeah. And I know we got dolphins down here. See dolphins. So that's always an amazing sight to see. Dolphins jumping out of the water, swimming in the water. There's just so many beautiful things to do.
Yeah, especially if you're out there kayaking or paddle boarding, stuff like that. There's great opportunities to come up close to some of these animals and see them in their natural habitat.
Yeah, and don't get too close to those gators, though.
Can I tell you a gator story?
I would love to hear a gator story.
Okay, so when I first moved down south, we moved to Bluffton, South Carolina, and I was there maybe a month, and we got involved with the church, and some of the guys at the church invited me to go play golf at this place called Island West. And it was either the 8th or the 9th tee, and you had to take a few steps up, so the tee box was kind of raised up a little bit, and I was going to hit off the far right side of the tee box, and as I was bending over to put the tee and the ball in the ground, there's literally this giant alligator like 3 feet from my face just sitting there. He must have been like 9 feet long. And I jumped back, said a few 4-letter words, and was like in the golf cart, and they're all laughing at me. They're like, it's no big deal. He's just
He's the mascot.
So that was my first encounter with an alligator that wasn't behind glass or a cage or something like that. Up in that area, there's a lot of alligators.
Yeah.
I don't see too many of them down here.
Yeah, I know there's a few on Jekyll, out there on Jekyll.
Yep.
They always talk about gators being out there. But yeah, haven't seen too many.
So if you drive out 82 to Waycross and go to the Okefenokee,
Yeah.
oh my God, they got some big mamma jamma
Yeah.
alligators.
I mean, and if you guys listening haven't been out to Okefenokee, you got to check it out. Went there one time. Actually, I think I've been there 2 times. But that is an awesome place to visit.
It's something you kind of joke about. Like, yes, there really is the Okefenokee Swamp.
Yeah.
'Cause I thought that was just an expression or just something we say like Dog Patch USA. But no, there's Okefenokee. It's big.
Yeah, if you look at it on a map,
I think it stretches down into Florida.
it does. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great place to check out for a day. The one on Waycross, you can find the entrance, and they have a trail you can walk around. I think there's even a boat ride there, and there's a little island where they have chickens and a few other things. And then they have all these alligators. I think the alpha alligator, his name was George. He must have been like 13 feet.
Yeah, I know they had a huge alligator.
Swallow me whole, probably.
Oh man, but yeah, the Okefenokees. That's another place to visit in this area.
Yep.
There's so many amazing places to visit, and like, we talked to Vinay, Hannah, Jason, Roland. I mean, just those businesses alone, and then just the places to eat, things to do. This place it's growing.
It is growing, and what's nice is it's yes, it's people moving in here, but it's people that are already living here discovering these cool places, and that's, I think, one of the reasons why we're doing this, so more people can experience these things. It's been a wild trip since we moved here, and I know my wife and I, and she doesn't really like me talking about her too much, but we do enjoy going out around here. We do enjoy going to First Fridays. We like going to Island for dinner. There's some cool places on Brunswick. We always try to have a date night, either Friday or Saturday night, where it's just us and we go somewhere. And the cool thing is, you can't run out of places to go.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to just kind of get out and explore. You always run into someone.
Yeah. I talking about First Fridays. I enjoy First Fridays immensely, and I've watched them grow. I've been here now. My wife's going to correct me on this, but 10 plus years, I believe. I lose track of time. But remember going to one of the first few First Fridays when I got here, and to watch it go from what it was to what it is now. And you're right. We are in shows at the Island Player, and I always enjoy when I'm walking on Newcastle and someone stops me and they're like, "Hey, you were in that show, weren't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then you sit there and then you talk with them for like 15, 20 minutes. It's funny, the first time we took not the first time, but since he's grown up, he's been to First Fridays a few times. But when he's older now, but he's like, you really have to stop and talk to everybody like every 20, like you stop, you talk to people for like 20, 30 minutes, and then like you finish with them, and then like 2 seconds later you're talking to somebody else. I'm like, that's just the way it is.
Yep, exactly the way it is.
Is that the cat?
Yeah, that's Chin Chin.
Oh, look at Chin Chin. Hi, Chin Chin. We have a cat visitor popping up. But yeah, and same thing like with places to go and eat. Like yesterday, we went to Don Poncho's for food. So, and if you guys haven't been to Don Poncho's, I mean, they got excellent Mexican food.
Where is that located?
So Don Poncho's, it's on Altama. It's in between the car wash and the Target shopping center. So if you're, what's the best way to describe it? So if you know where the car wash, so you got the Jeep Chrysler dealer, and then you got the car wash, and then there's a plaza, a little shopping plaza that's kind of like pushed in a little bit. Mm-hmm. Don Poncho's is in there, and then you had where the old Highway 55 is, and then you have the Lowe's yeah. Target shopping center. So yeah, so that's where Don Poncho's is, in that shopping center in between the car wash and where the old Highway 55 was. So
yeah, I've heard it's good. We haven't tried that one out yet, but it's on the list.
Yeah.
I've heard from a number of people that's pretty good.
Yeah, they got good food. And Noel, who owns it, he's a really nice guy.
Cool.
Maybe we got to get him on here too.
Yeah. Yeah, we're building a list, people. So
yeah,
and we'd love to get like I said before, we like to get your input. And if you have anybody, or if yourself want to be on and have an interesting story, or we'd love to have you.
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking ahead of like around Halloween.
Ooh, Halloween! It's my favorite.
Having someone to talk about some of the eerie legends of the area.
Yeah, so there's a lot of eerie ghost story hauntings in this area also. Like a lot of people are like, oh, Savannah, St. Augustine, but I mean, St. Simons, Brunswick, Jekyll Island has its fair share of ghost stories also.
Oh, yeah. So I drive Uber once in a while, and I was driving someone back to their bed and breakfast on Union Street, and it was about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I get to the house, the bed and breakfast, and he says, oh, I really don't want to go inside. I'm like, why? He's like, my room is haunted. I'm like, come on, it's not haunted. He's like, 2 o'clock every night, all the lights in the bedroom turn on. Like, really? Like, there's not a timer hidden somewhere? He's like, no, this is like old fashioned. Like, so, I mean, there could be some stuff here.
Yeah, and supposedly on Newcastle, you have 1313 Newcastle, which is where I think Port City has that like open area, like fenced off green open area, that white building. Sal from Sal's Pizzeria, rest in peace, Sal. He used to own that building, and he actually had paranormal investigators go in that building, and they actually like picked up like noises in that building. So.
Well, ghost hunters came. They did an episode at that on Newcastle, that police station. It used to be the old town hall.
Oh, really?
There's a whole episode of them in Brunswick.
Huh. We may have to do like a whole podcast just like on ghosts, like one episode just like on creepy ghost stories.
It'd be cool to do like our own little haunted investigation somewhere. Just set up our stuff, and then we have some EVP stuff and REM pods and whatever. All these things around us, and see what kind of goes off.
Maybe we can get a ghost on the podcast. I mean,
yeah, come to the podcast and say something to our listeners.
Yeah. Tell us how.
Get out.
How's it been in the last 1,000 years? Yeah, I've watched it grow. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, ghost stories. We talked about the beach, fishing, golf, Pickleball.
Pickleball.
That's like a huge thing.
It is a huge thing. I'm biding my time to go pro on pickleball.
Yeah.
I haven't started playing yet, but I'm pretty sure that I can go pro pretty quick.
Like, I don't want to start anything on here, but there was like a big like controversy between the pickleball and tennis court people.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't want this podcast to turn into like some kind of like pickleball tennis fight, but like back in the news, there was like a big, like they even brought it to like the county commissioners. They had like a whole meeting about like what time you can use the pickleball court and the tennis court. And like, I don't think there was any physical fights, but maybe there was. I don't know.
It was kind of like the Jets and the Sharks, man.
Yeah, I know.
Rumble at the tennis courts.
Rumble at Mallory Park.
10 o'clock.
But yeah, I mean, just all the different things and the things that we're getting. I mean, Buc-ee's. We're getting a Buc-ee's.
Oh my God, I can't wait for Buc-ee's.
Yeah, I mean that's incredible for us to get a Buc-ee's, and we're getting a Wawa's.
Yes, Wawa. You heard that right. I had no idea what a Wawa was until Shannon showed me. I was hooked.
Yeah.
They're really cool. It's like a small version of a Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
But their food was absolutely incredible. We stopped at one. We actually drove up to Massachusetts, and we stopped at one, and this was my first time going in, so I had to be kind of shown
what to do.
But you can order like your sandwich on a screen.
Wow.
And then you just walk down the line and it's there.
Wow.
And it's all made.
Yeah, fresh.
But it was good. It was good. And so I'm excited. I know Shannon's excited.
Yeah.
Because it's a little taste of home for her. Wawa's are really popular in, I guess, central East Coast, like Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Pennsylvania. Like I'm from Long Island, and we didn't have Wawa's. We had 7-Eleven was our jam.
7-Eleven. Yeah, because I'm from the Northeast too, from the Boston area. And there's a 7-Elevens and then White Hen Pantry.
Yeah, I didn't have those.
It was basically like a little mini mart. Had all like the Petridge Farm stuff.
You know what we had? We had what was known as a dairy barn. So it was basically a red barn, and it was a drive-through. So like if you needed milk or whatever, so this thing was like literally it was a red barn, called dairy barn, and there was no inside, so it was all drive-through. So you would just drive through, and there'd be a guy there, no speaker, no nothing, just a dude hanging out. And he'd be like, "What do you need?" And he'd be like, "Oh, I need a gallon of milk and a pack of Newports." And like he just gives it to you, and you pay. Those went away. I think. I don't know. I could be wrong. Someone from New York's gonna be like, "Hey, man, no, we got dairy barn still."
Yeah, it's great. There's things like that unique to all regions, and we have a lot of people here that are not native to Brunswick or Georgia. They're from the Northeast or central U.S. or the West Coast, and so I liked seeing that we're getting more diversity in the restaurants and everything. We got great food here.
Yeah, and the Wawa's, it's one of the first Wawa's in Georgia. This one, and I think they're opening up one in Jessup. So one or two, whatever. The first two, I guess you should say, in the whole entire state of Georgia, we're getting one of the first two Wawa's in the entire state. That's incredible. For them to pick Brunswick and Jessup and say in the entire state of Georgia, like and you look at a map. I mean, when you look at a map, you're like, it's a decent sized state. And to say we're going to put a Wawa's at 303 and 341.
That's kudos to the Georgia Economic Development Group.
Yeah.
Or Brunswick Economic Development Group. And the to get these things, and that'd be another good group of people to have on the podcast.
Yeah.
There's some of these people from the economic development. And
Yeah, and then I guess you got to give a shout out also to the main planning commissioners for, because they have to approve the site plan, and then the county commissioners for approving the site plan for that. So.
Yeah, and if anyone has been by that exit 42, that Buc-ee's is going to be huge. Dude.
I drove. We had to go to Savannah yesterday, pick something up, and we decided to come off 42 and then take 17 down. They're moving at an incredible pace.
Yeah, they are. I take that exit to work and home every day, and I can see the progress just in the 8 hours I was gone.
Yeah, and even the Wawas, like they broke ground, and like looks like they already got the tanks in the ground.
Yeah, well, I mean, these people that own these businesses that do these, whether they're a franchise or it's corporate owned, they've got a template that they just follow.
Yeah.
I'm sure that the people that build these things are actually probably people that work for Wawa or work for Buc-ee's, and it's their job is to build these things.
Yeah.
So it's just an incredible feat, and they just get in there, clear land, get it prepped, get the foundation in, get the tanks in for gas, and get all the utilities running, and boom, you got a building in no time.
Yeah, and the economic impact once they're open is going to be huge for this area. I mean, the money that the employment, the money it's going to generate. Hopefully, you'll get some tourists that, they're going to stop by Buc-ee's, but maybe they're going to be like, oh, what else does we have to offer?
I was told that Buc-ee's is going to be hiring like 230 people.
Wow.
To operate that store or mall or whatever.
I know, mini Walmart. I don't even know what
I
it
can
is.
be honest, I've never been to a Buc-ee's.
I
know
have not.
all about it, but everyone who says you walk into a Buc-ee's thinking you're just going to get a Coke, you end up walking out with a Coke, a T-shirt, a pair of shorts, a hat.
Right.
And
pajamas.
Milk and cookies. So
boxer shorts. I don't know. Right. I don't know. Bikini. I don't know. G-string. I don't know. But yeah, it's.
I hope not.
it's like it's a whole, I don't know, experience from what I understand. I mean, same thing. I haven't been to a Buc-ee's. I think the closest one right now, I think, is St. Augustine, near the outlets, I think. And then there's one in Daytona. But yeah, I'm excited because it'll be my first Buc-ee's to go in there, and hopefully I don't get like addicted to like any of their stuff, because supposedly they got like good like beaver nuggets.
Yes, I've actually had some of their food. People have gone to Buc-ee's and brought it to work and stuff like that to share. And my only concern is I am trying to diet, and trying is the word. Having to drive by Buc-ee's first thing in the morning is just going to make me go,
yeah,
hang a left into the parking lot and buy a bunch of stuff so I can chomp it on the way up to work.
Yeah. And, I think we also need to talk about Buc-ee's is an excellent thing that's coming here. But I think, some people listening to this, they might have some cons about it too. You take that route 17 to, is that 99? What was that? Right. And
yes.
then into get off 42 to get on the interstate. How do you think traffic's going to be once that opens up on that exit?
Well, I think it's going to grow because people are going to go there, but there's two ways to get to Buc-ee's.
Right.
It's coming off the highway, but it's also coming off of 17.
Yeah.
And as anyone knows who's been driving from Brunswick to Darien, they're widening 17 here.
Yeah.
And that's, I live right off of 17, and that construction is right in front of our community here, but it goes all the way up.
Yeah.
To that turn to 99.
And that's going to be a roundabout, right? Is that what it is? I don't know. Someone told me it's a roundabout. I could be completely wrong.
Not. I mean, that 17, you're going pretty. People are bombing down 17, and then all of a sudden you got to slow down for a roundabout, which up in New England we call it rotaries.
Yeah.
we had them growing up. I mean, I was very used to having these roundabouts or rotaries, and they weren't down here before. And now that they are, some people don't know. I'm gonna do a little PSA announcement. Here's the thing about these roundabouts or rotaries. If a car is in the rotary, meaning it's in there making its turn, they have the right of way until they pass. If you're coming into it, you have to yield. I don't know how many times I've been on that one at Demery and Federica on St. Simon's where people just blow right by and I have to slam on my brakes. But that's the rule. If you're in it, you have the right of way. If you're trying to get in it, you gotta wait your turn.
Huh.
And don't just slam on your gas and blow right in there.
Yeah.
Because you will cause an accident and it'll be your fault.
Wow.
And the insurance company will ding you.
Wow. So, learn something new every day. I just go.
I was going at one time and this kid doesn't even put on his brakes. I slam my brakes. I lean on the horn and he flips me off.
Huh.
Son, man.
Yeah. I mean, you just gotta, follow the rules on the roundabout and slow down a little bit on them.
I hope they're not putting a roundabout at that intersection with 1799 because the speed limit there is 55.
Is it really going all the way up into Darien?
At that point, yeah.
Right.
Once you get further down, closer to Brunswick, it goes down to 45. But that part, it's 55. So that'd be tough to put a rotary in. But I think what it looks like they're doing is they're putting in like a right turn lane for coming onto 17 off of 99.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's it. Just someone told me that was going to be a roundabout, but I have no clue.
Really hope not at 55 miles an hour.
No, that would slow everything down. But
I would grab a lawn chair and a 6-pack and watch the car wrecks.
Watch them race around that roundabout. One place we haven't really mentioned, and speaking about heading north on 17 is Darien. I mean, Darien is starting to become more up and coming.
They've got a great restaurant there, right as you come into Darien. The name escapes me, but I've actually eaten there for a company Christmas party, and the food was really good. There was prime rib. I mean, they had a great setup.
Is it BJ's or is it?
I really can't remember what it is. It's a big white building. You can't miss it.
Yeah, okay.
As soon as you get into Darien, there's this big white building on the right, and it's right on the water. And the food was fantastic. But there's Skipper's Fish Camp.
Yep.
And there's a wine shop.
Right. There's Oaks on the River, which is a new hotel. I've had brunch there.
Oh, yeah.
Very good brunch. Very good brunch. Very beautiful hotel.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll have to try that out. Haven't tried that.
Yeah. And then I think the other one is Canopy.
Canopy, yep.
Yeah. And then someone was saying, actually not someone, I've heard this from a few people, that some sort of brewery is going to be opening up somewhere in Darien. I'm just not sure exactly where.
Well, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Darien's cute. I mean, it's a nice little town.
Yep.
And we've gone over to the Skipper's Fish Camp, and you can kind of start walking around that little area right there because they're starting to put some stuff in there, and hopefully they keep going with it and make it into something that you can really spend the day.
Yeah.
Because it's nice. It's a nice little area.
Yeah, Darien is a cute town. I like Darien. It's up and coming. I mean, that Oaks on the River, that wasn't there 3, 4, or 5 years ago. That wasn't there. Now it's there.
Yeah.
And it's a nice setup. It's right on that river there.
I didn't even know about it, but I'll have to say something. And because we like to brunch, we don't get to do brunch that often. But if we have an opportunity to brunch, I have to try that Oaks.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I love brunch. I mean, and then we got so many places to have brunch. I mean, Reed's, of course, is a brunch staple. I mean, you can't say the word brunch without saying Reed's in the same sentence.
Yes, and we are both big fans of Reed's
Yes.
Apothecary.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, everything about the food at Reed's, Chris, the owner, the brunch breakfast, or just brunch in general, and the date night.
So the date night is great. Shannon and I have done that. It's $60. You get a bottle of wine, but it's 2 entrees and appetizer
Yeah.
for $60. And the food is amazing.
Yeah.
They don't water down or pare down the menu for you, or the portion size.
Right. It's the same that you would get on any other night.
Yeah, those duck nachos, the duck nachos.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you fry anything in duck fat though. Oh my gosh.
God, yeah. But, those things are incredible, and I've had just about everything on that menu.
Yeah.
And I've never been disappointed. They make a great old fashioned.
Yes, they do. I was about to mention the cocktails. They make good cocktails.
And if you call, I think it's between 2 and 4, you get the password for the speakeasy in the back.
Yeah, I think maybe 1 and 4, but yeah,
1 and 4,
2 or
yeah.
4, you could be right. But on Fridays, Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays, I'm gonna have someone's probably gonna correct me on that. But I know definitely Fridays and Saturdays, you can call and get the password for the study.
Yes, that's the little speakeasy in the back. You actually have to knock on a door.
Yeah,
Little window in the door opens up. You say the password and you go in.
Go in there.
It's very authentic to the Prohibition era speakeasies.
Yeah.
They call it the book room, which they used to do
Yeah.
back then. And you have a few drinks and when you go to settle your tab, you get it
In a book.
inside of a book.
Yeah.
So he's done his homework,
Yeah.
and it's great. They usually have a jazz band, or
Yeah. Live music.
you've seen the Pine Box Dwellers
Yes.
there,
Yeah.
and a few other people, and it's just nice to kind of hang out. And
That's hopefully it's something that we can get is scratching the surface on this podcast is maybe being able to talk to some of these local musicians because
I would love to do that.
the music scene is it's always been here, and the music scene in the Golden Isles is incredible.
Yeah.
We have there's some amazing performers.
Yeah, I just mentioned the Pine Box Dwellers.
Yeah,
But there's a band called Squirt Gun.
yeah, with Crawford.
Oh my goodness!
I just saw Crawford was at Tipsy's before coming over here for this podcast. Hot Banana Coffee, Blossom Bones. They're amazing. Their style of music, it's so amazing and so enjoyable. So they're big and upcoming.
We'd love to get some of these bands or someone from the band here. That'd be a great interview.
Yeah. I mean, you got Squirt Gun, Blossom Bones, Pine Box Dwellers, Hot Banana Coffee. You got a new venue for the heavy metal or the heavier stuff called The Hinge at the Blue Door. They got a show coming up. My dates might be wrong. I think it's April 6th. I think it's a Friday or Saturday. But they're going to have great bands on that night if you like the heavier stuff, the heavier metal stuff.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really great. This is all happening in Brunswick. That's the thing. This is all happening in Brunswick.
Let me see if I can get the right dates on that. So, because my friend Brandon, his band is going to be playing. Okay, here we go. So it's this is what happens when you get old. You can't see anything. April 6th, all ages. $10 entry. It's the Hinge at the Blue Door at 1706 2nd Street in Brunswick, and it's Kicklighter, Dig Dog, White Lighter Club, which my boy Brandon's in. The Shortages, so they're all going to be playing. So at April 6th, doors open at 6:30. The Hinge at the Blue Door. So definitely have to go check that out.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you want to rock out, I mean,
Yeah,
that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely try to see if we can get ourselves there as well because, we're closet metalheads.
Yes, we could do. Then we could do a recap on the whole thing on the podcast. So.
Yep. No, this is why we're doing it because stuff like this, people need to know about it.
Yeah, and that's what our whole plan with this podcast is to get people to know what's out there and talk to people and get everyone to know what's in this community.
Yeah, and we're coming up with new ideas and try to come up with some segments and things like that for the show that we can do at a time where we can kind of rattle off what's happening.
Yeah, and I know we had. Let me see if I can pull it up on my thing here, but just like at least to start talking about the happenings that's going on in Brunswick. Whoops, wrong button. Like I said, I'm getting old, so I can't see anything anymore. So let's see what's going on this weekend in Brunswick. So First Friday, that's coming up on, we're going into April, right?
Mm-hmm.
April 5th. So April 5th is First Friday, so that's a big one. And then let's see here for the weekend. We're coming out on Saturday. So because we're going to try to keep a schedule of Saturday release dates for our podcast. But like on Saturday, you got, of course, axe throwing at Matted Ox. It is Easter, so you do have a lot of Easter egg hunts. Oh, you got live music at Hoot Nannies. We forgot to mention. How can we forget to mention Hoot Nannies?
Hoot Nannies.
I am so upset at myself for totally forgot to mention Judd and Kate at Hoot Nannies. But live music with Blossom Bone, which I just talked about, that will be at 6 p.m. So let's talk about Hoot Nannies, because I'm now my mouth is watering. Yeah, Hoot Nannies. So Judd and Kate, if some of you might have eaten at their prior place on Altama, south of Heaven, but Hoot Nannies, and it's them, Judd and Kate. Their food is incredible.
Yes. It's amazing. We were just there for lunch.
Yeah.
And I got the brisket sandwich, and man, it's a handful.
Yeah.
There's a lot of brisket in that.
Yeah.
It was incredible. I think the last time I was there, I got their, it was a brisket burger.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a theme going on with the brisket. But it's awesome. They had that bacon jelly bacon or on the burger.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And I had their bowl. They have like a barbecue bowl where you can get brisket, pork, a chicken, I think. And you can get two different sides in it. So I got the street corn and I got the baked beans. Just absolutely incredible.
Oh, those beans are
oh my gosh.
So good.
Their food is, Judd is a master. I mean, he is a master at what he does with that barbecue. The way that he smokes that food it's incredible.
Oh yeah, and they're a great couple too. By the way, they're always very friendly. They're there.
Yeah.
They're there, present, working. So it's not like someone that owns a place and they just own it,
right?
And someone else runs it. They're there, and they're very, very kind. They're very, very nice, and they're very, very grateful that you enjoy their food.
Yes. Yeah, you can tell that they put a lot of love into the food that they make. Here's an example. I know this is coming out after, but this was their special just to get you an idea of the different types of food they have on Friday, which for us is tomorrow, but for you it would have been yesterday. Is the brisket gyro or gyro? Someone's going to
gyro.
Gyro. I'm always going to call.
You're from Long Island. You should
That's
know
fine.
that.
Well, the
Gyro.
Greek every single Greek restaurant I go into, they call it gyro. Like they don't correct you. They're like, whatever, gyro. So like I grew up like calling it a gyro. Like
I think they're just tired of correcting people.
I think so. They were just like, whatever, man, just gyro. So even the Greeks on Long Island were like, we'll call it gyro just to make everybody happy. Sliced brisket, cucumber salad, the tzatziki sauce, which I just pronounced wrong, balsamic tomatoes, and feta cheese on it. And then they got wings on Saturday. They got the smoked Greek, smoked fresh ground brisket burger with feta, marinated cucumber salad, pickled red onions. Then they got ribs. I mean, just the specials alone are incredible.
It's unique. It's a very unique barbecue.
Yeah.
Not your traditional. They put a flair on it, but it works and it is great. And when are we gonna have Judd on here?
And yeah, I'm gonna go talk to Judd, and we need to both go talk to him. Maybe.
Yes.
Well, you're going away for the weekend. Maybe next weekend Saturday we can meet up for lunch, and if he's there, we can ask him if he wants to come on.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think that would be amazing to talk to him about. His style of barbecuing, his flair on the barbecuing. Talk about flair. Let's talk about Guy Fieri visiting the Golden Isles, hitting up all these restaurants. Did you know about that?
When did that happen?
He's been he's what is it?
Dives, diners, and drive-thrus.
Triple D's or whatever.
Yeah.
Everyone likes Triple D's, but anyway,
This is a family show.
Family show. Yeah, he was at Del Sur.
Really?
Yeah, there was
That's not a dive.
Oh, I guess
Their up and outers are incredible.
Oh my God, they are. I had my anniversary dinner there on Monday, and we had a lamb empanada, and I had the beef empanada. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, incredible.
I'll order 3, and that's dinner.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you guys are looking or listening and you're wanting empanadas, that is the place to go.
By the way, I know we talk about a lot of food here. We do not weigh like 350 pounds, by the way, but
No.
we do like to eat.
Yeah. No, I'm cut. No.
Chiseled out of stone, man.
Yeah, chiseled out of like Play-Doh, but
Body by Budweiser.
yeah, body by Golden Isles foodies. Excuse me. But yeah,
So Guy Fieri, is he still here? Or
no,
he's done his thing.
He's done his thing, but they're slowly, like, they're not all on one episode, which actually that would have been pretty cool. But he hit up a bunch of places for Triple D's, which it's like evolved. Like it's no longer like the restaurants or food joints that are on there are not really what I would consider like drive-ins, dives, or whatever. They're like fancy, really nice places to eat. But anyway, so yeah, he hit up Del Sur, amazing. He was at the Porch, another amazing porch. Indigo Shanty was
Indigo
on.
Shanty.
Yeah,
Wow.
I believe the donut place Dolce.
Dolce, yeah, that's the they also own Certified Burger.
Yeah, they were on there also too.
Whew.
And I might be missing. Just Golden Isles olive oil. They were on there also. So yeah, so I mean, the food joints in the Golden Isles are like. Oh, and I just read this too. I'm like jumping all over the place. I saw it on Yelp. Mr. Shucks Seafood is on the top 100 best seafood restaurants in the nation.
Well, I'm not surprised. Honestly, I've been there a couple times. They have a great product.
Yeah.
Their food's really good. I've never been disappointed at all. I mean, It's great. And he's really kind of fancied it up. He's got a food truck and he's doing such a great job with that. And it's great. So if you get a hankering for seafood, you don't have to go to the island. You can go right there at Ultima, across from Publix. It's a Mr. Shucks.
Yeah, and named from Yelp one of the top 100 restaurants in the world, in the nation. Excuse me. So, but yeah, amazing. I mean, it's just amazing things that are happening in the Golden Isles.
Yeah.
I'm excited for what the future holds.
So, how much time we have?
I believe we're at the 1 hour mark.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's do this. Let's do a quick top 5.
Okay. Let's do it.
You and I will both do a top 5.
Okay.
We'll do top 5 restaurants.
Yeah, that's going to be a hard one, but let's do it.
Why don't you name your top 5 and I'll name my top 5.
Okay.
And see how much we
get close to.
Yeah.
All right, so top 5. This is going to be fun. I have to go with Reed's, Porch, Tipsy's. Man, this is hard. And I gotta go with both the Schroeder's Market and Shroglow.
Right. So yeah, in Brunswick. So you got. I agree. Reed's is number 1 for me. That's one of my favorite places to go. I put Schroeder's number 2. Because it's just that farm to table type of thing, and the food's just so fresh. Tipsy's, they're onion rings. I could eat a truckload of those things. After that, I would say Mr. Shucks.
Nice.
And I'm keeping this all Brunswick. And sorry, St. Simon's. I mean, I could do a whole top 5.
Oh, me too. Me too.
And then number 5, I would do Indigo.
Yeah. So if for me, I'll redo my list for just Brunswick alone on that stretch. Reed's, Schroeder's Market, Shroglow, Tipsy's, and Indigo. I'll be on the same boat.
Indigo's got a great meatloaf.
Oh my God, yes, the meatloaf. We can go like a whole hour just talk about their meatloaf.
I know. I think we'd look like 350 pounds or something like that, but no, we can pack it away, but.
Yeah, we're
they don't call me Buda for nothing. Got the Buda belly.
Yeah, I mean we can, there's leave it for more episodes just to talk about different things. But yeah, I mean, we're a little over the hour mark. And thank you for everybody listening. I can't wait for our next guest to come on, and for that episode, that's going to be a great episode. And I am just excited for where this podcast is hopefully going to go in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for everyone supporting us, for the people that are listening to us. Please let us know how we're doing.
Yeah.
And, your feedback is important for us because we're kind of guiding our way through this ourselves.
Yeah.
Feeling our way in the dark.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. And, we've got Newcastle Wines next episode. So tune in. That's going to be an incredible one for me. I'm already excited.
Yeah, me too. So everyone have a great holiday. This is going to be released on Saturday. Everyone be safe. It's spring break for school, so get out there with the kids. Enjoy the Golden Isles. Enjoy all the different food offerings that we have, all the different activities. Hopefully it's great weather for the beach. Just go out, enjoy yourselves. Please, if you can, share this podcast with your friends, family. We're really hoping that this takes off.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and so I guess this is Beard signing off.
This is Buda. Have a safe and fun weekend.
Yep. So we'll probably see you guys around First Friday. Stop by and say hi to us. So, all right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend.